welcome to another episode of PHNX Suns here with Stephen PridGeon-Garner. We got Gil McGregor here. We have a special guest here, Law Murray, covering all the teams in Los Angeles now. Law, we're not going to hold you too long, man, but we're going to go ahead and get to kind of previewing what a potential series with the Suns in the play-in for the Clippers might potentially look like.
We talked about a lot about who's gone. No more James, no more Zoo, obviously, but the guys who have come in, Benedict Mather and Darius Garland, talked a little bit about, and it seems like it's a two-timeline thing going on. These are younger guys who are important for the now, but also the future of this franchise potentially. What's been your impression of how they fit in with this franchise, and I guess how they've continued to allow the motion to keep rolling with this team in their season turnaround?
I got to give a lot of credit to those guys because they all came, specifically Darius and Benedict Mather, and like those guys came from places where they needed a change of scenery. Darius, because of his injury, and just you look at how the playoff run went for Cleveland last year, they had maxed that team out. Even Darius knew like something's got to shake, and it's probably going to involve him. And with Ben, again, that team, they beat Darius' team in the playoffs and they went to the finals. But for Ben, he missed the previous playoff run because of shoulder surgery. And then he got to see, with money on the line, his team decide at very specific points in the playoff run that they were better off if Ben's rotation minutes were slashed. You saw what happened in the offseason. He didn't get his money. He's headed to the restricted free agency, and he winds up getting traded from a team that was failing, in part due to injuries to him. He got hurt first week of the season with a toe issue as well. And by the time he came back, the Pacers went from a team that I thought would at least be competitive in the Eastern Conference to a team that was basically going to be playing the lottery. So when young guys who have had a measure of success, they change their situation like that, or have their situation changed for them in this case, they have two choices. They can continue to sulk and wait, or they can approach it with the right energy to make the situation as best as it can be. That's way easier for Darius. He's under contract. He already had a relationship with T. Lue. He has already established himself as an all-star player. He was being told he was going to start, and they were going to take all the time in the world with him. And I think he's very happy, and he's playing like it. Sometimes he's playing a little too happy because that ball gets a little loose, Ben, he's not starting, but man, he's dropped 20 points in so many games off the bench. He's been one of the best reserves in the league after the All-Star break. And he's a player who definitely is an acquired taste. And so those inconsistencies come out sometimes. I think the way the Blazers guarded him, huge red flag for the Clippers, right? Because, you're talking about one of the best free throw jars in the league. The Blazers, a team that struggles with defending without fouling, but they are, like the Suns, they're very aggressive in terms of trying to force turnovers. And they were able to do that without putting Ben on the line a single time. But for the overall, Ben is happy. Ben's got a lot more to consider. That contract is going to be very interesting in terms of not just the length and the value from a dollar standpoint, but when we saw the shenanigans of last year's restricted free agency, we had people acting like Jonathan Kuminga was a top 50 player just because he was Stephen Curry's teammate. There's a lot on the line for Ben between now and the end of this month. Simple as that. And the Phoenix Suns, for both of those guys, because those guys have the ball in their hands, because they're asked to either be primary playmakers or primary bucket getters, the attention that they get from the Phoenix defense is going to be a huge barometer in this matchup.
When you look at the post-deadline Clippers and you look at Brook Lopez having to step up and role and significance to the team, you look at Yannick Niederhauser coming into his own and then getting hurt, subsequently being out for the team. You look at Isaiah Jackson and what he's been able to contribute, and then he gets hurt. What do you make of the center realm for that team in this post-All-Star break stretch, and how do you kind of see that playing out as an advantage or maybe disadvantage in a play-in situation?
Yeah, it's a disadvantage right now for a lot of reasons you mentioned. When you trade Ivica Zubats, you are not just trading all defensive selection from last season, a guy in his 20s, a guy who is durable and consistent, reliable. You know what you're going to get from him. The variables tend to be who he's playing around and who he's playing against, right? Um, man, Brooke Lopez did a great job. I admire Brooke Lopez a lot. I mean, we literally saw a veteran not be happy with his rotation situation, get asked to leave the team on the middle of a road trip this year. Might have played for the Suns once upon a time. Brooke Lopez was the antithesis to that. He lost his rotation spot, and it wasn't even his fault, really. I mean, you sign a backup center thinking, yeah, we need this guy, and then you realize why he wasn't a backup center. It's like all these teams that downsize and run around all crazy with the energy centers. Ironically, guys like Isaiah Jackson, that's not the best fit for the kind of player Brooke Lopez is. But when Zoo got hurt against the Lakers in December, Brooke was ready to go. And Brooke was already being reintroduced to the rotation because the Clippers realized they weren't necessarily better with Brooke not playing either at that point. And I mean, shoot, the day after Christmas, Brooke hits 9 threes in Portland. And that was critical when Portland was up double digits in that game. Clippers wind up coming back and winning. And that's the value of Brooke to me. A guy who can space the floor, allows a guy like John Collins to really do what he does best offensively. And then we all know he's old and slow, but the thing with Brooke Lopez is this dude is a professional when it comes to organizing a defense on the back line as a communicator. When it comes to having no pride as a rim protector or no lack of pride, like he's going to get dunked on, but he's also going to catch you multiple times a game. If he's not getting the block out right, he's changing shots or he's being a presence. He's a huge body, so he's always been a bad statistical rebounder, but he at least will block out. If he's playing with good rebounders, then those teams are pretty good, just as Giannis is in Kumbo. If he's playing with who he's playing with now, unfortunately, it's a bit of a problem. The Clippers are terrible at pursuing the basketball. They've been beat time and time again by teams that are going to crash the offensive glass. Brooke is 38 years old as of yesterday. You don't want to play him 30 plus minutes. And the Yannick injury was terrible because that dude, for a guy that people did not like going into the draft, ask a casual Clipper fan, he won over everybody. He worked hard. He kept his head down, gave youthful energy, solid dude, humble as well, knows what he has to do, doesn't have any problems, and has that intriguing skill set to go with the size and athleticism. I'm really sad that he had the serious foot injury that not only ends this season, but puts the start of next season in jeopardy for him. And then you got Isaiah Jackson, who's been down that road. Achilles tear ended his year early last year after he got paid. And so he was not good as a starter. And then he started to get help because that's what happens when you tear an Achilles. It takes a while to get that thing back. And so him having an ankle sprain, it just exposes the depth of the Clippers, the dire situation that they're in. And again, against a team like the Suns, I mean, the Suns ain't going to cry no tears for the Clippers center situation. Mark Williams, we all knew he was going to get hurt at some point. That's unfortunately marked his career. He's been out with a multi-week injury. Oso, shout out to him. Again, Oso is a second round pick in year two. Um, he's filled that position pretty well. They have a lottery pick in Maluak, and Man is, again, it takes a long time for centers to get certain things. It's a hard position. You can't just be tall in the NBA. You have to actually know what the heck you're doing and be able to apply your skills, or you're going to get exposed. But he's taking the opportunity to continue to get a little bit better incrementally over the course of the season. So it's not a matchup that kills the Clippers in this particular instance, but the center position is definitely a concern this month for the Clippers.
Well, my last one for you. We talk about their biggest weakness, but one of their lone constants and one of the biggest strengths of the Clippers is the guy, Kawhi Leonard. You talk about, a game seven like situation. We've seen him rise in those situations. We've seen him rise in a winner takes all situation. We've seen him win championships. Is there a world when it comes down to it where this matchup is, hey, we have Kawhi Leonard and you don't, and we can win a game off of that in this type of situation?
Yeah, it would be nice if you could really say that. And the reality is, we did see a game 7 in Denver last year, and the
Hmm.
Clippers got absolutely
Hmm.
annihilated, and that changed the course of what they were going to do to fix their offseason. That's why Norman Powell's down in South Beach right now. The thing with Kawhi is he is that guy, but you can't just chalk it up to, hey, you have Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi has to be at his best. One, he's got to be healthy, and two, he's got to be able to assert that kind of force. And to be honest with you, as good as Game 7 Kawhi could be, it's going to come down to the support he gets from his teammates. Like Darius has to be good. Like Kawhi's been in these situations, but Darius absolutely hasn't really been in these situations. You know, he did have a game 7 against the Magic where they had to come back and win on the road,
Mhm.
or when they were at home for that one in a 4-5 matchup with the Magic. So, you know, again, these guys aren't completely foreign to this, but it's a different level when you talk about Kawhi versus his teammates right now. And so really the playoffs started already for the Clippers. It started a long time ago, and Kawhi's lived up to it. And yeah, it's nice to say that yeah that Kawhi's the ultimate decider of this, but the Phoenix Suns know that too, and I would think the Phoenix Suns would do everything that they can to take Kawhi out, put a lot of pressure on him. They have the players to do it, and to basically say that it's going to have to come down to the other guys. The other guys in that last matchup down in Phoenix in February, Jordan Miller stepped up big.
Mhm.
Zoo was outstanding on the glass, and then without Book, without Jalen Green, the Suns had no answer there. As good as Kawhi is, this is going to come down to the Phoenix Suns defense, and whether the Clippers have the support to combat that.
Well, Law, last one for you, my man. Should this matchup happen, whether it be 7, 8, or whether it be some other iteration of them falling into running into each other, how do you
Which
see
would be
this?
crazy. Some historical shit you ain't never seen before.
Yes, for sure. But this is an unprecedented season that we are dealing with at
Right,
this moment. How do
man.
you see it going? Like, what would be your prediction for the game?
I mean, I would have to take the Clippers. I think it would be, I mean, we're talking about a team in Phoenix that honestly I didn't think would be here. So this is in no way disrespectful to the Phoenix Suns. I thought they would be where they were last year, bottom five. If they were bottom five with KD and Book and Brad, I thought they were going to be bottom five with Book and a new coach and Jalen Green, who was not ready to start the season. And Dylan Brooks is your second best offensive on ball player, pretty much. So it's a, I have all the respect in the world for these dudes. And this isn't even me getting to see the Clippers up front. Like that if anything, that works against the Clippers. I saw the Clippers go into a playing tournament in 2022 in Minnesota, 7-8 matchup where they had a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter. Cat had fouled out. They game planned expertly for him, and they wound up collapsing because Anthony Edwards had his turn-up moment. And then they go home. Paul George has COVID and they fall down. They erase the deficit. They're up double digits in the fourth quarter in their home building, and those old dudes ran out of gas. The old dudes being Reggie Jackson and Robert Covington and Marcus Morris and Nicola Batum and Reggie Jackson, like those guys. That's who T. Lue chose to go with, and it worked to you know erase the deficit, but they couldn't run through the tape. So this team has been spooked by the play-in tournament for years. That's how they got top 60s each of the last 3 years. And you know, I'm just going to say on paper, the team that has Kawhi Leonard and Teron Lue should beat, should win that game. But it's absolutely not something I say in full confidence.
Well, we appreciate your time, Law. You can follow Law on Twitter at LawMurrayVNU. Obviously, you can follow Gil here at Gil McGregor _. You can follow myself here at StephenPG3. Stay tuned for more. We appreciate y'all time. Talk to y'all soon.